again this year. Justin Fields starting debut for Chicago, and here we go. NFL on Fox. It's week 3, and the Browns will start from their own 25-yard line, where we see Baker Mayfield, who is leading the NFL in completion percentage. I know it's only 2 weeks, but as you noted, he's been on point.
Yeah, he's playing the best ball of his career. I mean, completion percentage, his ability to push the ball downfield. This offense is a really fun offense to study. It's a fun offense talking to Kevin Stefanski about all the things he can do. It's going to be a fun day.
See that offensive line, one of the best in the NFL, and they run the ball with the two-headed monster of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. They started with Chubb in the backfield, and they fake to him. Mayfield off the play action, being pursued by Nichols, launches it deep, and it's knocked away. Deion Bush getting the start today for the injured Tashaun Gibson at safety, makes a big play to start.
That's how you want to start. He hasn't made a start in a few years. That's how you want to get your next opportunity. He thinks he has Bryant wide open here. Bush does a great job closing that space.
Amazingly enough, that's the first incompletion on play action for Baker Mayfield this year. He was 100% on play action, and his average pass was over 15 yards. And would have been a big gain there, but Bush made a nice play. 2nd and 10. 4-man rush, quick throw, incomplete. Tried to get it to Odell Beckham Jr. over the middle. Fans want a flag. There's no call. It was Roquan Smith on the coverage. As we look at this Bears defense, who got torn up by the Rams in week 1, much better last week against the Bengals.
Yeah, and their formula, it's been since Matt Nagy's been here, is the turnovers, right? That last week forced 4 straight turnovers. That's the formula for success for this Bears defense. Last week they found it. Now they got to find a way to sustain it moving forward.
Told you that Gibson, the starting safety, is out. Bush getting the start for him in that secondary. Third down and 10. Blitz coming. Mayfield steps up. Guns it complete. It is Odell Beckham Jr. Welcome back to the Browns and a first down for Cleveland.
Great job here by Baker Mayfield. He feels the pressure. Quinn gets a little pressure. Watch, he steps up in the pocket, gives Odell time to work over the middle of the field. Odell is so good in his routes, in and out of his break. When the rush doesn't get home, KB, Baker buys some time. It's a hard matchup with a guy like Odell.
So on 3rd and 10, they pick it up. They're going to run it to Chubb off the left side for the first time, and Nick Chubb is stood up pretty good after a short game against this Bears running D, which they're playing well so far, so something's got to give today.
It is, and keep an eye on the rest of this broadcast, just how many personnel groupings Cleveland will run in and out. It'll be play after play, 3 tight ends, 1 tight end, 2 backs, under center, shotgun. It's a very multiple offensive scheme that Kevin Stefanski is able to do because of his personnel. The Bears are going to find themselves trying to find answers for these multiple formations and personnel groups.
They got 2 tight ends here. They send Nick Chubb out to the bottom of your screen as a wide receiver. 2nd down and 8. 4-man rush. Mayfield throws way high. It was intended for the rookie Schwartz, but not even close. It'll bring up another 3rd down. Schwartz is a guy that trying to get involved here for his speed. I mean, blazing. 4.26 40. Had a tough game last week. Browns kind of said a ball that he maybe quit on a little bit, led to an interception. But they love what he brings to the table.
Yeah, hey. You're there,
3rd and 8.
Something they did last week. You got Quinn and Khalil Mack lined up together.
Mayfield escapes, looking to run. Penalty flag. First down and then some, and Mayfield into Bears territory. We'll see what the penalty flag is, though. And if this play is going to stand up, Ron Torbert is our referee this afternoon. You're trying to show Mack and Quinn lining up together.
Holding. Defense, number 33. That 5-yard penalty is added to the end of the play. First down.
Yeah, you see Robert Quinn gets the pressure. You see Jalen Johnson off to the side. Gets a little too much. You see him at the top of the screen. working against Odell. I don't know.
Not a lot there, but he would have picked it up anyway with the run, and in another 3rd and long conversion for Cleveland. Nick Chubb looks to get to the edge, and he's buried by Roquan Smith. Wow. Big week last week, an interception return for a touchdown, and that was a thump by Smith.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, just follow this guy. Just watch him get to the ball. He's so fast. There's very few plays where he doesn't end up at the ball carrier, which is, you know, that's what you're looking for out of your Mike linebacker. Probably plays one of the most marquee positions in this franchise's history, and they feel like he has a chance to, you know, it's a group that you don't want to really compare yourselves to, the Butkus and the Singletary and Urlacher, but they feel like he can be pretty special in his own right.
Second team All-Pro last year. Certainly trending in that direction. 2nd and 9. This time they'll go right with Chubb. Good cut up the middle inside the 40 and then wrestled down at the 38-yard line. It was Smith again. Well, look at this Browns offense, getting familiar with them if you're not a diehard fan. Baker Mayfield has been great. What a start. 82% for the first 2 weeks in history, and then 7 rushing touchdowns. Told you how the run game is so good. That's the most in the league. It's the most in team history through 2 games as well. Meanwhile, their third down of this drive. Be a 3rd down and 5 here. Demetric Felton in the game. His first NFL touchdown last week. It's him in the backfield. The rookie from UCLA. Mayfield looking that way, throwing that way. He's open, and he missed him. He had a touchdown to Felton. He beat Roquan Smith, and now it's a 4th and 5.
They got the matchup they wanted. He knew it was man coverage. He brings Felton back into the backfield. He has him one-on-one, and Baker just misses him. Oh, this kid is, you touched on it, KB. He is a dynamic kid. About to go for it here on 4th down, but he's a little bit of a running back, a little bit of a slot receiver, kind of coming in some of that Jarvis Landry voids. Big 4th down. I love this aggressiveness.
On a 4th and 5, it's Kareem Hunt in the game. Play clock at 1. Blitz coming. Mayfield is sacked, and the Bears will take over. Robert Quinn came through and got him. And a big defensive stand by Chicago. They got lucky on the blown coverage, but then Quinn comes through with the sack.
I think there was a mix-up there, KB, on the snap count.
They certainly hope it's the start of something special for a long time. 20-2 as a starter, his career at Ohio State, which was magnificent. 78 total touchdowns, most in the country over those 2 years. And now starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears here in week 3. In good field position after that sack on 4th down as they begin on their own 47. And Fields going to hand it off on the first play. Montgomery gets to the edge. Big room. David Montgomery, 1st down and more inside the 40. And a good start for Chicago's offense.
We talked about it in the open. Let's get a feel for what Matt Nagy's going to do here. He's got a young quarterback making his debut on the road. I'd love for him to come out, get him some early completions, get him settled into this game, maybe a designed run or 2. And we saw him go with the early handoff. I wouldn't be surprised in this first drive he really tries to get his young quarterback settled in and feeling a part of this game.
Hey, Izzo!
Montgomery again. Maybe a yard, not much there as the Browns were ready for it. As you look at this Bears offense, that's going to try and help Fields get a W here. The veteran, 18th year left tackle Jason Peters up there with this offensive line for Chicago. And then Robinson, who had a touchdown last week, but also dropped a long touchdown last week with Mooney, who can fly. They've added some speed. Goodwin, Damiere Byrd, we've seen him in the game. A lot more speed on this Bears offense. Now can they take advantage? On a 2nd and 9, they go empty set. 4-man rush. Fields has time. Now he's going to take off and run with room. Fields to the 30 and then slides down inside the 30. He's going to be 2 yards short of a 1st down.
I like that. He's decisive, right? His first read wasn't there, trying to get the ball out of his hand. When you spread the field in that empty, it really allows the athlete that Justin Fields is, to really see the open field and just take that grass and run. puts him in 3rd and short. I like the decisive decision there by him.
Fields, a little flip. Montgomery in trouble, and he goes nowhere. The rookie Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah read it all the way and brings up 4th and 2. And it looks like Chicago's going to try a field goal.
Yeah, they did. They had no chance. They're trying to pin here with Cole Kmet. Peters kind of gets caught up in the fray. There's some penetration. Not able to get him to the edge there. Really nice stop there on 3rd and short by that Browns defense. I'm surprised they didn't attempt to go for it here, KB.
Yeah, it's 4th and a short
inside
too.
Yeah, inside the 30-yard line.
It'd be a 47-yard field goal by Cairo Santos. And Santos puts it up and through. It's now 29 in a row for Santos, who's been terrific. But a win for the Browns D. They hold him to 3 on Fields' first drive. 3-0 Bears. Do settle for a 47-yard field goal, 4th and 2. Matt Nagy decides to kick the field goal. Justin Fields didn't attempt to pass. Well, he looked like he was going to attempt one, but then took off and ran for 7 yards. And so a successful start for Chicago. Up 3-0. But that last play on that 3rd down had no chance. Greg, why don't you tell us why?
Yeah, so the key to these plays, they call them pin and pull. They're trying to get Jason Peters. Jason Peters is going to pull onto the perimeter. But this play, the key part is blocking the 2-man end on the line. Allen Robinson, for whatever reason, doesn't block the end man on the line. He goes up to the safety. Now, Peters has penetration in his lap. That's not the play design. But somehow, again, I don't want to speculate that there's an alert or some way to get out of it. But if Allen Robinson just gets that end man, they at least have a chance to pick up a few yards for the first down.
That's why the play got blown up. So now the Browns again on offense. Mayfield just 1 of 5 to start this game. Remember, had that touchdown to Felton that he overthrew. Talking about his accuracy, how good it's been. Meanwhile, they'll run it here, and there is not much there. Good effort just to get a couple from Nick Chubb.
In the talking with Sean Desai, the defensive coordinator for Chicago, he feels pretty strong about their ability of their front 7 to control the run. He doesn't feel like he needs to bring so many extra guys in the box to kind of corral this really effective run game for the Browns. A big part of that, Hakeem Hicks on the inside. If you try to block him one-on-one, I don't care how many Pro Bowl linemen you have, he's a problem.
Second down, 4-man pressure, and comes up the middle. Mayfield lets it fly. Penalty. He was trying to get it to Odell Beckham Jr. There's also a penalty back on the quarterback. You wonder if that was an illegal hit. So a couple of flags to sort out here. Both may be going against Chicago. Well, there it is.
Body lands. They want the defensive lineman to just attempt. And again, it's easier said than done. See the flag down the field. Yeah, that's clearly a hold, pass interference.
There were 2 fouls during the play, both by the defense. Before the pass was thrown, holding number 22. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 95. That penalty is accepted. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Yeah, Khyiris Tonga. They want to see the defensive lineman at least make the attempt for all of their body weight to not just fall squarely on the quarterback. A lot of times that's easier said than done. He doesn't hit him in the head. His head's to the side. But anytime a big D lineman just drives his whole body and the quarterback onto his back, it's a flag. It's not easy to play defense in this league, but that's going to be a flag 10 out of 10 times.
Should point out, Tonga's going to see a lot more time. The rookie today, Eddie Goldman, out again. He hasn't played yet this season. They were hopeful this week, but the knee's still an issue, and so they miss their best run stuffer today. The Browns get a first down, and they'll fake it again. Mayfield's got a man wide open, and there he goes again. It is Felton. He is electric. I mean, you saw it on the 33-yard touchdown last week, his first touch on offense, and he's just got that ability. With Landry out, he's now the slot guy, Greg.
Right. We got motion going away with Peoples-Jones. We got Felton coming back across. They got 2 running backs, but he's playing kind of a slot receiver. They use him on what they call a hide route. He comes behind the line of scrimmage. Play action, that's an easy completion, and you get the ball to, in essence, a running back in space. It's a very effective scheme design.
Baker Mayfield said even a few weeks ago they started giving him Jarvis Landry's route tree and say, hey, start learning this kid. And then, unfortunately, Landry gets hurt last week. So now his role is going to be big.
False start. Offense, number 75. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
The Browns will move it back 5 yards on the penalty on Bitonio, the left guard. By the way, these uniforms today are sweet. 75th anniversary unis for the Browns. Just fantastic with the shadow box numbers, and then you get the numbers on the helmets, just the white stripe. I mean, I like them.
This is a football town. This just feels right.
Feels right today.
Feels awesome.
Perfect fall weather.
This is great.
Browns, Bears, two of the great organizations in the league. And a 1st and 15 after the penalty. It is Mayfield. Has time. Fires to a man. Wide open as he inbounds. Peoples-Jones is inbounds. Down to the 29 and a hookup of 21 yards.
Anytime you play this old Tampa 2, this trap coverage, they call that the hole shot. Peoples-Jones, you don't want to get too deep that you get there for the safety, but you got to get enough depth that you see the corner there, Vildor. He can't get enough depth to get underneath. If you can get the ball accurately thrown, that 20-yard area on the sideline, that's the void of the coverage. Baker does a nice job there finding Peoples-Jones to exploit it.
There's Felton in motion. They're going to run it. Coming to Nick Chubb and a short gain. Chicago was ready for it. Said their run D's been good the first couple weeks. Roquan Smith out on the help. This run game for the Browns is pretty good. It's not too often in today's NFL when you get two essentially 1,000-yard backs like they have.
And the guys up front drive it. It's very rare in the NFL. We talked to Kevin Stefanski about it, and he acknowledged it. Very often, offensive line are mostly zone-type guys, gap schemes where you see a lot of pulling and pinning on the perimeter. There's really not a run scheme this offensive line can't handle. When you factor in these two backs, he has the entire run package at his disposal every week.
Second down. Mayfield over the middle. Good catch. Had to stretch for that one, did Beckham, and he's close to a first down. I think he's going to be about a half-yard short. Bring up a 3rd and short.
See Odell, he's just right here in the slot, and he's just going to run a simple slant, get big. I don't know if there's ever been a better hands catcher in NFL history, but you very rarely see the ball get in on his body. A contested hands catch. So far, Odell has made his presence felt coming back from injury.
Talked about those different formations by Cleveland. They've got 3 tight ends in the game right now.
Yeah.
3rd and 1. Mayfield slings it out to Felton, who's wide open. He is tackled short. What a play that was by Duke Shelley. He did not get there. And now what do you do on 4th down?
I think you got to go for it. I think you got to see him get his second. But watch the motion. So what they're doing is they're trying to get a pre-snap tell if it's man or zone. Because the defense doesn't track Felton, they know it's zone. He's counting on him just making a guy miss in space and converting. But what a great tackle there in the open field by Shelley. That is not an easy play. They had the look they wanted. Shelley made a great play.
Said they would go again on 4th down. Mayfield rolling in deep trouble. Here comes Khalil Mack, and another sack for the Bears on 4th down. Quinn got one, Mack's got one. And the Browns on a 4th and a yard could not come through. Wow. Quinn and Mack, the pass rush for Chicago, the story early.
They're counting on it being man. Jalen Johnson at the top of the screen. He drops Odell, and that's why he's standing there in the flat for Nick Chubb out of the backfield.
So well played is what you're saying.
Very well played. Really good scheme design.
Browns 0 for 2 on 4th down after moving the ball. And here's Justin Fields for his second series. Pressure up the middle, and he is still up, and now down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney came barreling through and got there first.
That's what they signed him for, to make these big impactful plays. He is a force. He just, Ifedi oversets. He's thinking it's a speed rush. He sets too far out. He counters. Look, he takes the inside move. Ifedi has no chance. Rest of the gang comes and cleans it up. That's a great, great play.
Browns have had trouble getting to the quarterback the first 2 weeks. Good sign for them. It's a loss of 10 on second down. They're just going to give it to Montgomery, running nowhere. Owusu Koromoa again, the second good play from him in the early going.
The Browns came into this season, they don't hide behind the fact. They realized, even though they had a playoff win last year and Stefanski in his first year had some success, they knew they needed to improve this defense. They went out in free agency, added guys at all 3 levels, and Joe Woods has done a great job so far with his defense. They're just starting to kind of find their way early in the year.
Bears have to get to the 41. Fields will just throw it over the middle. Safe pass, Kmet, and he's nowhere near a first down, just to give a little bit more room to punt it away. So the sack by Clowney just destroyed that drive, and a 3-and-out. And now it's Pat O'Donnell to punt it away to Felton. We did have one kickoff return for a touchdown at UCLA. Good deep kick. Felton retreating back to around the 11. Looking for some room. Good move. Felton with the juke. And now Joel Iyiegbuniwe on the tackle on special teams. And Baker Mayfield. Offense has moved. Fourth down has been their issue today. Browns down by 3. Their football. Game Bears late first quarter here. First couple possessions, Browns have moved. And then on fourth down, they've come up empty with a couple of Bears sacks. Story of this game so far. Begin this drive with a fake to Hunt. Pressure coming. Mayfield sees it, gets rid of the Hunt, and then he breaks a tackle of Ogletree and then surges forward. Good effort by Hunt just to get anything out of that as he moves across to the 26-yard line.
3-yard gain, second down, 7.
So it's interesting. Early in this game, Pam told you, Greg, Odell Beckham Jr. back, and clearly there's been an effort to get him the ball, 2 catches, and they haven't always been on the same page in their short time together.
They haven't, but so far early in the first quarter, they've connected a few times. You can hear Odell Beckham all week talk about the mental process of just getting back. It's got to feel great for him to just kind of get back out in the field, put those injuries behind him. You heard Pam touch on it earlier.
Yeah, 2 catches already and 3 targets. Drew a penalty on another. Set up a screen. Hunt has a blockers. First down and more. Across the 40. Well-designed play that time. J.C. Tretter out leading the charge, and they pick up 18.
The key to these screens is getting all these linemen with good timing, good cadence. Watch how they all get in front of him, nice in tempo. Now he can fall in behind them and use their blocks and set them up. You see Hunt, he's really good in space, but those screens are all about the timing, the patience of the back and the offensive line being in tandem as they all hit their marks.
Mayfield, little flip. Here comes Beckham on the flip, looking for blocks, and gets to midfield, breaks a tackle. Odell Beckham Jr. right near a first down. He should have it. Heavily involved in this first quarter. That time he gets the run. We've got a game break with Kurt Menefee.
All right, just around Lake Erie from
First down there, so 10 yards rushing and 20 yards receiving in this first quarter. But it's the Bears who've got the early lead, and Justin Fields is starting to debut. 3-0 after 1. Gorgeous day here in Cleveland, Ohio, as we start the second quarter. 3-0 Bears. That was because Browns are 0 for 2 on fourth down. They've had the ball. They've moved the ball. Bears got good field position, went for a field goal. That's been the story in the early going. Glad to have you aboard. Pam Oliver, Greg Olson, Kevin Burkhardt, our entire NFL on Fox crew, and here is Kareem Hunt. Dancing to the right side. Kareem Hunt, first down, and inside the 35 as Hunt picks up 12. What a run.
We talk about their ability to run multiple types of runs. You know, we saw they're under center running traditional zones. There you see him. They pull the backside guard. He gets in behind him. The ability, I can't stress it enough, how rare it is in the NFL to have backs and offensive linemen who really have this variety of run game that they can all pull off. I tell you, if you love running football, this is a fun team to watch. Now they got a true fullback in the game, lined up in the eye.
On first down, Mayfield, all kinds of time, can't find anyone. Now rolling away, room to run, he'll take it. Mayfield tucks it away inside the 35 and out of bounds right around the 30-yard line. He had a lot of time, but just couldn't find anybody open.
I don't know if he gets enough credit. You know, we saw him in college running around, making a lot of plays. He's a very good athlete. That's a sight nobody wants to see.
That's Khalil Mack leaving the field for Chicago. We'll get a report from Pam Oliver when we have some information, but obviously not good. Has a sack already in this game.
Hey, log 4-4.
Looks like Jeremiah Tauchu is in for him, number 50. Run it again to Hunt, who gets stonewalled up the middle. Has nowhere to go. Nichols and Shelley on the tackle. Kevin Stefanski in this offense. You talked about all the personnel packages that they employ. Why is that such a problem?
Because it puts a lot of pressure on the defense, right? The defensive coordinator, Sean Desai, he needs to figure out how am I going to play 3 tight ends, right? Because they're not just lined up in 3 tight end traditional. A lot of the times they're in empty passing situations. Matching personnel when the offense can mix it up is a challenge.
Third down. Hunt again. Dances to the line. Running hard and a first down. And now a penalty flag from behind the line of scrimmage. So we'll see if this is going to stay.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
It's on Jack Conklin, the right tackle, so it nullifies a first down. 2 of those penalties last week. Browns just making some mistakes here early. They're moving the ball.
They are. They're moving the ball. They're getting in deep into the Bears territory. Yeah, you see him. I think they called it on Jack Conklin. I think it was on Wyatt Teller, the right guard. You see him, he kind of grabs Akeem Nicks. We talked about Hicks earlier. Hicks is an unbelievable interior player. Back to his days in New Orleans, he used to give us fits. They'd line him up at defensive end over the tight end, and his whole job was to just beat us up.
So now a 3rd and 15. They got to get to the 24. It's a 3-man rush. Mayfield throwing for Beckham Jr. and it's nearly intercepted. That was close. Jalen Johnson, who had his first career pick last week, got his hands on it.
Jalen Johnson has quietly, he's quietly become a pretty premier corner in this league, especially given he's only in his 2nd year. And we asked him point blank the other day, we said, what's it going to be like knowing that Odell Beckham could line up across? He goes, I'd be lying if I didn't say, I'm usually pretty fired up going into games, knowing that Odell could be over there.
This would be a 57-yard field goal by Chase McLaughlin. It would be his career high by a long shot. Career high now is 52 yards to tie this game up. Not much wind down in that end of the stadium. The kick is up, and it is good! 57-yarder to tie it up. Wow. Did he have enough distance? That was the question. 3-3 game here in the 2nd quarter. Justin Fields is starting debut. Hasn't done much. Neither has the Bears offense. So what do we need to see here?
Yeah, in the open we touched on it. I want to see Matt Nagy come out and utilize his young stud, right? You drafted this guy so high. Let him play. Push the ball down the field. Let him run a little bit. Let him impact the game.
Khalil Herbert, the rookie, takes it out of the end zone across the 20, and he's going to be out to about the 24. Let's go downstairs to Pam Oliver.
Hey there, Kevin. Now, Khalil Mack, he spent a good deal of time in the medical tent before you saw him leave the field. Chicago tells me the Bears linebacker has a foot injury and is questionable. Back to you.
Well, that is obviously a problem, Pam. Great job. We'll keep an eye on if he makes his way back to the field. So here is Fields, 1 for 1. He's tried to pass 3 times. Greg, you were talking about it. Sacked one at a time. One time he ran. Just 24 yards for the Bears so far. Here he's going to hand it off to Montgomery. Conservative so far.
Yeah, I mean, first down runs, right? How many times are we going to go first down runs and be in 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, right? They tried to pass on first down the last time. They took a sack, but get the ball out of his hand, get him a completion, quick game, maybe get him on the move with a boot, some of the stuff we've seen Cleveland do on the other side. But, you know, here we are in the second quarter, and Fields, if I'm him, I'm not sure if I've really gotten into the rhythm and the groove of the game.
Second down on the fake, pressure coming, and he is buried. It's Owusu-Koramoah again. Garrett was there too. Oh, the rookie from Notre Dame is having a big impact on this game early.
See Owusu-Koramoah right here. He kind of just pulls the trigger. He's delaying. He sees the hard action, and he just green dogs. He sees the backs not getting the ball. He sees the grass, and he takes it. I don't think he was blitzing there, KB. I think he had no defense. He had no offensive player coming to his zone, and he just kind of pulled the trigger, and Quentin said, hey, I'm going to go make a play.
He's made 3 big plays in this first half. 3rd and 14. Fields pressure again, and he is sacked again. Myles Garrett got home, and all of a sudden this Browns team that had trouble getting to the quarterback the first 2 weeks, not an issue today. That's their 3rd.
Yeah, pretty interesting on 3rd and long. I'm not sure why Jason Peters is attempting the cut block. I don't know if he was thinking the ball was going to get out of his hand faster, but once you go low, you're no help to the quarterback. Justin Fields holding the ball, trying to push it down the field on 3rd and long. He takes the sack.
Well, it doesn't matter how many plays you call of the aggressive nature. If you can't block for 2 seconds, that's going to be a problem. Another good punt, though, by O'Donnell. It's Felton from the 24. Looks to get to the edge. Felton up to the 40 and then gets stopped there. Penalty flag, and maybe moving on back on a block in the back. 61-yard punt for the second time by O'Donnell. So the Browns see what this flag is. But there's a lot of talk this week about getting to the quarterback. They had only 3 sacks, but they had gotten a lot of pressure, gotten close. Today they're finishing.
Yeah, when we talked to defensive coordinator Joe Woods, he said, you know, we're getting a lot of pressure. We're winning the one-on-one matchups. Our pass rush win rate is really good, top 5 in the league. A lot of it is just...
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 52 of the return team. That 10-yard penalty is assessed from the spot of the foul. It's Cleveland's ball, first down, timeout.
To finish our thought on that, sometimes we got to get the back end and the front end, the secondary, on the same page. We've seen it so far early today.
So for the Bears, they got to feel pretty fortunate. Cleveland had a couple 4th downs that they failed to convert, otherwise it could have been a whole lot worse for Chicago. As Mayfield starts his drive with a handoff to Chubb up the middle, and Chubb's going to pick up 2 against this Bears defense led by new defensive coordinator Sean Desai, who gets a chance. You know, guy's been around for a long time, quality control coach. He was Vic Fangio's guy. Thought he was going to Denver, but he stayed here.
And he acknowledged it. He was pretty honest. He said, I'll be honest. In the beginning, I was kind of taken back. You know, he said, he talked so much about, I was worked so hard to climb through the ladder, and I finally, my guy, Vic Fangio, gets his opportunity. He wants to bring me with him. And Nagy blocks me. He said, looking back, I'm glad he did. But at the time, I wasn't thrilled about it.
3 tight end set, blitz coming. It's picked up. Mayfield throws it away. Try to get it to Hooper, and it's incomplete. And, you know, it's interesting about Desai. Yeah, so who Vic Fangio ended up taking, by the way, as now we have an injured Brown. And that is Jedrick Wills, the left tackle. He's been dealing with an ankle injury for weeks, since week 1. And he's kind of gutting through it. What I was saying is Brandon Staley is the guy that he took, is now the head coach of the Rams. But Desai is such an interesting guy. He's got his PhD from Temple, so the players call him Doc around the facility. As a matter of fact, he still teaches classes at Lake Forest Grad School Management. He said they just emailed him this week asking about his schedule. He said,
hopefully I'm not available.
Can I get back to you on the schedule of teaching?
You know, I thought it was so cool when the phrase he used. He said, at the end of the day, coaching is teaching. And I just think that's so true. When you boil it down to its truest form, the best coaches are the best teachers. They're the best motivators, they're the best instructors, and he's a talented guy, he's smart, his players love him.
See how the D responds. Meanwhile, Blake Hance has come in for Jedrick Wills on the left tackle side. He played the second half last week when Wills got hurt again. Another third down. Mayfield has time, throws, open man, caught. First down for Cleveland. Beauty of a throw, and the connection is made to Rashard Higgins.
See Higgins right here, just zone coverage, just finds that void. Eddie Jackson just can't drive it. The idea behind that scheme is Eddie Jackson's playing kind of a quarter safety, and when number 2 goes out, he's going to drive it. Ball placement, timing, and rhythm makes it really hard for the defender to get there on time. Good route, good timing there by Baker. Big conversion.
Quick snap count. Mayfield, a lot of time. Looks to air it out. It's not there. He's going to go instead underneath. Higgins again up to midfield. He's got a 7-yard gain for Ogletree. Wrestles it out. He was trying to go deep so bad there.
I think anytime you see growth and development of a young quarter, we said Baker Mayfield's playing some of his best game. He's trying to throw this ball deep here to Odell. He hits his back foot and he's looking. Odell gets a little tangled up, but immediately, maybe a couple years ago, he might take off and run, try to do too much. He checks the ball down to Higgins, finds himself now in second quarter. That's the growth of a young quarterback in the NFL.
So he picks up 7. And gives it to Chubb, who breaks a tackle. Nick Chubb, first down, and still going inside the 40. Nick Chubb, like a locomotive, just keeps on chugging. And a nice run. He's got 13.
We saw it last drive with Kareem Hunt. Now to be able to spell Kareem Hunt with Chubb, you know, very few teams have a tandem like that. It goes from a 2-yard loss to converting the first down.
Jedrick Wills is back in the game, Greg. He just went back on the field again, dealing with that ankle. We'll see how he does. And you saw the shot of Khalil Mack. He's back on the sideline now. Panto just got the foot injury. We'll see if he comes back in the game. That's the injury stuff going on. On first down, pitch to Chubb. Pressure gets away from Ogletree, but not the next few defenders. Bears played that well. And Chubb's going to lose a couple yards. Hicks. And slow to get up there. Hopefully he's okay. He's the one who made the play. And this running back tandem, and you've seen them both here today, just so good. One of two teammates with 1,300 total yards and 13 touchdowns. Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill are the others. And they're good together. Hunt's a better receiver out of the backfield, right? So no Mack and no Hicks now for the Bears defense. Their top 2 players on the sideline on 2nd and 11. Under 7 minutes to go in the half. Mayfield pressure. Quinn coming again. Mayfield stays away. Stays alive. Throws it away. And we get a penalty flag as well. How did he get out of that?
I think they're going to say that Christian Jones hit him in the head.
There is no foul on the play for roughing the passer.
Okay.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. It's third down.
Yeah, I guess they picked it up.
And it looked like he got hit in the face. Did it not? I mean,
it looked like Otauchu hit him right in the head.
He did hit him right in the head. What am I missing?
Take another look here.
At the very end.
Yeah, you see Otauchu comes right here and punches him right in the face mask.
I mean, that's a penalty all day long. I don't know how it's not called.
And again, they threw the flag, so I don't know what the conversation is amongst the referees to then go ahead and pick it up. You either saw it or you didn't see it.
Bears got a break. Mayfield got out of a sit. Play clock at 3. Mayfield pressured, and down he goes. Mario Edwards back after a 2-game suspension, and he's got a Chicago sack.
That's a welcome sight. You mentioned it. He's back off a 2-game. You see him there lined up, and he just wins his matchup. There's nothing fancy about this. He wins with his hands, wins with his rush, getting on the edge. That's a welcome sight for this defense. I'll tell you, KB, they're hanging in there. It doesn't feel like it. You know, look at the stats. You look at the yards gained. It's not real even, but they're hanging in there.
Scoreboard, all that matters, right, Greg?
The only stat that matters.
So 6 total points, 6 total sacks in this game. Each team has 3 of them. Here's Gillen to punt it away. Simba Webster drops the ball. It is loose. Who's got it now? Bears say they do. Maybe Jalen Johnson down there. Let's see.
That ball could have changed hands 3 times by now.
See the officials trying to uncover that thing. And the signal is Chicago football. Bears get a break. Simba Webster. Yikes. Chicago's ball, though. 3-3 game. Late first half. Well, the defensive have owned this game. Each team with 3 sacks. The Bears have 15 yards. It's amazing it's a 3-3 game, honestly, the way it looks aesthetically. They got the stop on 4th down, great field position, and they drove down a little bit and got a field goal. Fields has, 1 pass. He's 1 for 11 yards in this early going in his starting NFL debut. There it is on 1st down, looking to throw, pressured again. Mooney's got the catch, and Mooney fighting his way towards a 9-yard gain. As pressure and sacks by Cleveland. Greg, you talked about it. They've been getting close. Today they're getting home.
They have, and a lot of that has to do with what they're doing in the secondary and how do they match their pressure looks with their coverage. If they know they're winning fast, let's get coverage a little tighter and not let the quarterback get the ball in their hand. I think we've seen a little of those adjustments so far early today from Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator, and so far the results have been promising.
2nd and 1. Montgomery on the give. 1st down, Chicago. It needed that. They could take a little breath. So, when your quarterback, hey, maybe this is the franchise guy. Bears have been fresh set of downs. Here, Fields pulls it. Looking for someone. No one's open and throws underneath now. And we've got a catch. Allen Robinson on the board. His first catch of the day.
But this is all it takes. It's nothing crazy. You see Fields now going hurry up, trying to find a little tempo. I like it. I like it. Press the issue a little bit.
Officially, they called it a 2nd and an inch that he didn't get it. That time Fields just sails it a mile high. It's actually on the field a 3rd down and less than 1 right now.
It is, but this drive, again, little victories. 1st down, little RPO, throws a completion for 9. 2nd down, gets the 1st down. They go hurry up tempo. Yeah, he misses, he sails it. They move the pocket. They're getting them in and out. This maybe resembles a little more that what better suits his skill set. Listen, Matt Nagy told us, I've got to retrain my brain a little bit to make sure I'm calling plays that not only do I like, that fit what my quarterback's skill set is.
Here's a test, 3rd and 1. Brown stacked the box, and the Bears moved. Jermaine Ifedi moved on the right side.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Oh, this line's having a tough day. Are you talking about Nagy and the play calls? Well, that changes the options a little bit. 3rd and 6. Four-man rush, pressure coming. Fields in trouble, and he's down again. Myles Garrett's got 2.5 sacks in the 1st half.
Joe Woods talked about moving around. You see Myles Garrett here lined up at kind of a defensive tackle between the 3-man rush. And he just keeps fighting. Fields does a nice job initially stepping up in the pocket. They got Clowney on the outside, but Myles Garrett lined up inside. This D-line, this is what they dreamed up when they brought these guys in here to go along with Myles Garrett, and they have just unleashed on this Bears offensive line.
4 sacks today for Cleveland. They had 3 the first 2 games. Here's Felton back at his 10, makes a man miss, and another, and not the 3rd and 4th. And a penalty flag again on the return. And so we'll see if this gets moved back. They had a penalty on their last return as well. Chris Tabor, the special teams coach, fired up.
Return. Illegal block in the back. number 36 of the return team. That penalty is 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Cleveland's ball, first down.
2 special teams penalties, back-to-back possessions now as we check in with Curt Menefee. I see what you did there. Well done. In a 3-3 game. You like defense? Well, this has been your game so far. Still no Khalil Mack for Chicago. Went out with a foot injury earlier. Browns have 4 sacks. The Bears have 3. And 2:54 to go in the half. Each team with all 3 of their timeouts. Akeem Hicks is back on the field. It's good news for Chicago. Give to Nick Chubb, and out across the 15. Where he's brought down there. As clock winding down. We get near 2 minutes. Chubb 9 carries, 30 yards in this first half. Mayfield started this game just 1 for 5, 9 of 16, 99 yards for him throwing the football.
It's going to be interesting to see how they manage the clock here, KB. Right, we're right about coming down to the 2-minute warning. I'd love to see him put a 2-minute drive here together, but you definitely don't want to punt at the back of your end zone and give them the ball around midfield if you don't get it.
Going to hand it off here, and that is not going to go anywhere. Now we'll see if the Bears will let it go to the 2-minute warning, and they will. 2 minutes to go in this first half. It'll be a 3rd and 5 for Cleveland when we come back. Justin Fields is starting debut. Tough day so far for he and the Bears offense, but we're still. They've got 3 sacks. Browns D has 4 sacks. And that's why we're in a 3-3 game. Khalil Mack trying to work his way back in the game, left with a foot injury. He's not on the field, obviously. 3rd down and 5. 2 minutes to go. Each team all 3 timeouts. Mayfield on the fake. Gonna loft one far side of the field. What an adjustment! Oh, wow! Donovan Peoples-Jones on the back shoulder, and he converts the first down.
The Bears brought 6-man pressure, and they just left their corners on an island. Watch this adjustment on the back shoulder. That is a hard catch. It's not bad coverage there by Vildor. That's just a great throw and a catch. Really nice adjustment on the back shoulder.
And that is good stuff. He's made 2 good catches today. Had the one on the sideline, remember, with the toe tap.
Yep.
Trying to look for that next young receiver to step up with Jarvis Landry out a couple weeks. Here's Hunt of the game. Big hole up the middle. Kareem Hunt dances his way to the 45. And now the Browns have a drive going with all 3 timeouts, and they're on the move.
Yeah, Chicago lines up there in just a 6-man box, maybe anticipating they're going to go 2-minute, throw the ball, but they have plenty of time, 3 timeouts, no problem. Hand the ball off, 6-man box, soft box, good chunk run.
4-man rush. Mayfield over the middle. Hunt's wide open. Hunt cuts it up the field and down to the 40. Kareem Hunt, a big part of this drive, and another big pickup as the Browns continue here.
You said Hunt, he's a great receiver. He's going to run what they call a Texas route. He sells the flat, crosses face to the linebacker. Roquan Smith is playing for him to maybe go towards the boundary to stop the clock, cross his face. Timeout here by the Bears.
And Bears call a timeout. They're going to catch their breath here with the Browns. Browns have all 3 timeouts. They had a 3rd down deep in their own territory, but Kareem Hunt really getting involved here. 3 catches, 38 yards, 3 carries, 24 yards. Been big on this drive in the 2-minute drill. And then Peoples-Jones on 3rd down with a big catch. So now they're in prime position with plenty of time left. Odell Beckham match up against Jalen Johnson on this drive. Top of the screen. There's a pretty good matchup right there. First down. Mayfield looking over the middle. Gets his tight end Hooper involved, and the Browns are in field goal range. He's down to the 31. Under a minute to go, and now Cleveland, I think, is going to call their first timeout.
So again, managing the clock here. Hooper makes his first catch of the day. Pretty simple, but the way they want to manage these timeouts, right? Cleveland's idea going into the half is either, of course, we want a touchdown, plenty of time, still a little under a minute, 2 timeouts. We want to score a touchdown. But in the event that we either score or we have to settle for a field goal, ideally you don't want to give the Bears another extra possession before the half. So how they manage their timeouts, they can play the entire, the entire field is in play. To the best you can, you don't want to give the Bears that extra possession, considering they still have timeouts remaining.
Verizon halftime show coming your way next. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy join you for that. A lot of games in the 1 o'clock slate. 55 seconds to go. Big upset brewing in Kansas City, by the way, with Justin Herbert and company. 2nd and 4. Mayfield to Hunt. Good adjustment. Hunt makes a catch, and he's got a first down. DeAndre Houston Carson on the stop. Time winding. Will they call another timeout? And it looks like the clock is stopped. I didn't see a signal. Oh, they did. Okay, so the Browns did call their second timeout with 48 seconds to go. So think about this, Greg. I mean, this was third down.
You can go down and steal some points here before the half.
Yeah, this is the catch by Peoples-Jones. Had 2 really good catches today. 2 for 39 for him. He had 14 catches, 304 yards last year, 2 touchdowns, but 2 really awesome touchdowns. One won a game, one was a game winner. So they like his promise, delivering today on a 1st and 10. Blitz coming, knocked in the air, and incomplete. Trevis Gibson had the hands up and knocked it away and almost turned it into a home run.
Yeah, we saw twice this possession. They've run that little Texas route we talked. Now that time they just send Kareem Hunt to the flat, and he's wide open. Gibson does a nice job. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. Look at Kareem Hunt. Not only is he going to gain yards, he's going to get out of bounds and save you time in a timeout.
44 seconds to go. Blitz coming. Mayfield sees it, gets it to Hunt. Has blockers. Hunt gets through a tackle, and then inside the 20. Going to be, I think, a little short of a first down.
Great. Watch Houston Carson blitzes. He just shows like he's going to block him and just slips out. Really good, timely call. Run it right into the pressure. That's a dream scenario. Gives them a real good 3rd and short opportunity here to keep this drive going and getting points.
So it's interesting. They called their last timeout there because you didn't get the first down, right? So you couldn't go up and spike it. So it's 3rd down and 1. But forget about trying to get the first. But how do you manage the last 36 seconds without any timeouts?
Yeah, you have time now. With this much time on the clock, you can still work the entire field, knowing you can always get up there and spike it and kill the clock. If there's another chance there after you spike it to take a shot in the end zone, at the very least, you want to make sure after that last shot, it's incomplete or out of bounds, we can at least settle for a field goal. We're coming away with 3 here. 7 would be ideal.
It's going to be the 10th play of the drive for the Browns. 3-3 game. The yardage is not close. 205 for Cleveland, 38 for Chicago. And now Nick Chubb returns to the game on a 3rd and short. Give it to him right up the gut. First down and more inside the 15. Now you got to go and spike it. And that's what Mayfield's saying, unless it's a fake spike. Let's see. Mayfield will spike it. 23 seconds to go. First down.
Yeah, that's what allows, smart. You can run it. Like we said, you had kind of your whole arsenal at your disposal, knowing you had plenty of time now. But 23 seconds, they still have enough time if they get tackled in bounds. If you're fast enough, you can still get up and spike it. They can probably get 2, maybe 3 shots here, depending how fast the ball comes out of his hand and assuming he doesn't get tackled in bounds.
They were a terrific red zone team last year, 3rd in the league. They're very good so far this year, 6th in the league. They go 3 wide with a tight end. On 2nd and long, Mayfield going end zone. Hooper! Got it! Touchdown, Cleveland!
When they signed Austin Hooper here last year from Atlanta, these are the plays. Red zone, 3rd down conversions. Timely play by him right before the half. Got him matched up against Roquan Smith. Good timing. That's pitch and catch.
That was a monster drive. 12 plays, 240, executed to perfection. Picked up a couple key 3rd downs, and then Austin Hooper, 13-yard touchdown reception. The extra point is up and good. First score of the year for Austin Hooper. Baker Mayfield masterful on that drive.
This is music to my ears, KB. He's going to run, and he's just going to sit him down enough when tight ends run routes, we want to attack guys, run right at them, freeze them over the top. You see how that settles Roquan Smith's feet? That's what allows the separation for Baker to be able to get that ball up and down before the safety's able to drive over the top. If he just runs vertical there, Roquan Smith carries him, the ball has to elevate too high. Nice job there by Hooper. You can tell that excites me, KB. I've always loved the nice tight end red zone touchdown.
Yeah, that's shocking from a Pro Bowl tight end that you would enjoy other tight ends.
Hey, listen,
I'm going to tell you,
I don't shy away from it.
It's our third week working together. Third week you're a broadcaster. I'm just going to say, in every game, we've had a tight end score a touchdown.
I'm just saying, I bring good luck, man. I bring good energy. I support the position. They feel my vibes from the booth,
what
man.
What does that even mean?
Somebody's got to support him.
Well, Austin Hooper comes through. That was a great drive, right?
Great drive.
I mean, third downs converted.
But what a difference one play. We've talked about it now a few times. If he doesn't complete that back shoulder to Peoples-Jones, they punt.
Right.
And they're conceding the play after two handoffs. One play flips the game.
Here is Herbert, the rookie, breaking through. The only thing you can't have happen if you're Cleveland, and there's a flag, though, way back of the 20. You know, look, you talk about tight ends and touchdowns, and just for the Bears, I know we talked about, hey, is Justin Fields, could he be the franchise quarterback they've been searching for a long time? Well, get the flag here from Ron Torbert. Looks like it's going to be on Chicago.
During the return, personal foul, illegal double team block, number 18 of the return team. That penalty is half the distance from the spot of the foul. Chicago's ball, first down.
It's on Jesse James. So you talk about tight ends. Last time the Bears won a playoff game, Greg Olsen. Dropping back. Who does he find? Go get it, Greg.
I got chills right now, bud. I didn't know you were doing this.
Well, they didn't show it to you till now. That's the idea.
It's one of my all-time favorite moments of my career. My first playoff game, like you said, first third down of the game, 50-plus yard touchdown.
And fitting a tight end touchdown to break here. Austin Hooper getting the first score of this game, and the Browns take it to the half with the lead over Chicago. And a 10-3 score at the break. Beautiful 2-minute drive by Cleveland. And Justin Fields in his starting debut, just 3 of 4, 29 yards. Tough one offensively. Here's back to that touchdown to Hooper. His first of the year. And delivering there for this Browns offense, which outgained Chicago 224 to 42. 4 sacks for Cleveland, also a big factor. But again, the Bears offensively have had a hard time holding up. And so Justin Fields, not much, not a lot of help. 29 yards passing, 7 yards rushing, and a 10-3 score at the half from Cleveland. We now go to L.A. for the Verizon halftime show, which starts right now. Kurt.
Jacksonville like that, to be honest with you. But, you know, it's like, oh, he's out of breath. I'm talking about Gus Johnson. I'm not even talking about...
Today's game flow brought to you by Progressive, as the Browns with a 10-3 lead and really a dominant first half, even though it's only a touchdown, and they had a great 2-minute drive. Austin Hooper with a 13-yard touchdown. The difference in this game, that came with 19 seconds to go. And the Bears offense in Justin Fields' starting debut has been quiet, as they will start with the football, though. And that's the thing, Greg. You know, there's been so much pressure on Justin Fields, hard to really evaluate, but give credit to Cleveland's D, too. I mean, they're playing a whale of a game.
Yeah, this is what they envisioned when...
And so here comes Fields in the second half. Just 3 of 4, 29 yards in the first half. Back to throw here. Over the middle, zings it incomplete. Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. It'll bring up second down.
You know, you got to hope and expect that the message by Nagy at half, you see Chicago going up tempo here. This might have been one of their halftime adjustments to try to find some of that rhythm we touched on.
4-man rush, actually 5-man rush, and that is almost intercepted. Malik Jackson came diving back from the defensive tackle spot, but instead it's incomplete, and it's 3rd down and 10.
This front here, he's lucky this ball wasn't picked. Has guys in his face, balls into a crowd. But how much of that is this defensive front, just the pressure? Every time he's got guys in his lap, he's kind of throwing over a bunch of helmets and hands. It's not an easy way to play quarterback, let alone making your NFL debut.
Bears 0 for 4 on 3rd down so far. Fields pressure again and sacked for the 5th time today. Takk McKinley got there first.
They set up an overload blitz. You see they got 3 over 3. It forces the Bears to go one-on-one. Takk McKinley, one of those free agent acquisitions they acquired, just beats Germain Ifedi over the outside. Great job by Fields. In live action, it looked like he almost fumbled. Great strength there holding on, but they want to force one-on-one blocks, and they don't feel like a lot of teams are set to match them.
Bears are getting overwhelmed up front. Here is Felton. Gets to the edge, has a block. Man, is he fun to watch. Into Bears territory and down inside the 45 as we go down to Pam Oliver on the sidelines.
Well, the question, Kevin, I have to remember that Justin Fields can scramble, and we can't let that happen. Back
Pam,
to you.
as you say that, Pam, Mack just walked back onto the field. So good timing. He's back for Chicago, and there is the run as you called for to Chubb. Patient outside, but nothing doing. Bears stack him up. And even what Pam said, Stefanski told her, they still had 87 yards rushing. Just shows how good of a rushing team they really are.
Yeah, sometimes you take it for granted watching, but their expectations of that run game and this offensive line running back combination is as good as there is in the league. And when you can rush for 87.5 and still feel like you didn't do a good enough job, you know you're pretty good.
And they're averaging 4.8 a carry today, even after that last carry that lost a yard.
Rip these nuts!
Mayfield pumps, open up the middle, going to take it and just slide down. So taking a negative play and turning it into a 5-yard gain, brings up 3rd down.
Just has nowhere really to go with the ball. He probably can throw that ball to the flat. I don't know if he feels like Jalen Johnson's going to kind of fall off. He's the trap corner. In cover 2, he's going to carry number 1, and then he's going to drive number 2 when he comes to the flat. Something spooked Baker Mayfield there and caused him to hold on to the ball, but this is a huge 3rd down. You felt the momentum kind of shift after that last possession by Chicago, and they got to get a stop here.
Browns 5 of 9 on 3rd. Blitz is coming. It's picked up. Mayfield letting it rip for Beckham. Oh, beauty. He turns around and makes the catch, and he's got a 1st down to the 15.
We saw the back shoulder before the half to Peoples-Jones. Now we're seeing him teeing up here with Odell Beckham. This is the matchup we wanted. Jalen Johnson, he just does the old flyby. He just puts his hand subtly on his back. It's a vet move. Jalen Johnson flies by. Again, great hand catcher of the ball. Great footwork on the sideline. That's a matchup we came in thinking, hey, is Jalen Johnson, it seems like he's tracking him all over the field, and Odell's having a good debut.
Nice pass by Mayfield for 26 yards is Chubb. And you think about Mayfield in this Browns offense. He said, look, last year he's had so many different coordinators and coaches already in his short career. He said last year, basically because of COVID, our install was like the first half of the season. So can you tell the comfort level now in year 2?
Yeah, it's night and day. I mean, watching some of his games from last year even though they had some success, he really felt like the first half of the season and the second half of the season now carrying over into 2021. He's more confident. He's seeing the field. Him and Kevin Stefanski are on the same page. They're playing at a really, really high level right now.
After a slow start, he's had a good game. Chubb, nobody there outside, and now cuts it up. Bears close that hole. It looked like he would have go all the way home. There's a penalty flag on it as well. Looks to be the 5th penalty on the Browns here today.
Holding. Offense, number 75. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
John Bitonio, left guard, so that'll move it on back.
See him here at left guard. Great patience here by Chubb. Really nowhere to go. Sometimes what happens, KB, is the line is expecting that to be an inside handoff, inside run, and then when the running back kind of gets out on the perimeter on his own, you see those guys when the defense redirects, they kind of just grab and pull him.
So 2nd and long, pressure coming. Mayfield stays up, and now he's sacked. He almost got away from that one, but Mack, who's back in the game, brought him down. He had some help from Quinn.
Robert Quinn, I know last year he kind of came under some pressure. Watch him how fast he gets around the edge here. He gets the initial pressure. He just runs that hoop. And Mack kind of finishes him off. He came under a little heat last year, didn't quite have the production. They signed him to a big contract. He's gotten off to he's got more sacks already for the first 3 weeks than he had all last year. Robert Quinn has had a really big impact on this team early on. These are the dividends they were hoping were going to pay off when they signed him last year.
Bears D has kept them in this game, no doubt about it. 3rd and 30 after the penalty and the sack. And now Mayfield spins away. He lost Quinn. How about Mayfield with the spin? And he's not going to be near a first down, but he certainly makes it a lot easier of a field goal attempt. Nice play.
That was awesome. That was like playing Madden and hitting the circle button, right? I mean, he just spun him right out of his shoes. Watch what he does here. Circle button, Robert Quinn goes in. He's a really good athlete. And to your point, it makes it a lot more of a comfortable field goal.
It's a pretty good actor, too.
His commercials are amazing.
Commercials are unreal. Meanwhile, 41-yard field goal attempt by McLaughlin, who had a 57-yarder earlier in the game, his career high. And this one, that's child's play from 41 yards. So he's got another. Browns have a 10-point lead early in this 3rd. Here today, bringing some good mojo to the Browns. 13-3, 10-point lead here in Cleveland. Just a perfect September day. And the Browns, who realistically could be 2-0, they played a game they could have and maybe should have won week 1 against the Chiefs. Up by 10 against the Bears. Long way to go, though, early in the 3rd. As the rookie Herbert out across the 20. You know, first-round quarterbacks, you never know how it's going to go, and certainly in the first year you don't. Trevor Lawrence has had a tough start to the year, although the Jags are winning today. Zach Wilson threw 4 picks last week. Trey Lance has barely played, does have a touchdown. And then Mac Jones, he just threw a pick 6 for New England. He's been playing pretty well first couple weeks. You see his. So it's no sure thing. Fields is making a starting debut today. And remember, he's starting. Andy Dalton got hurt. I don't know that he would have been starting just yet. Dalton was a starter, hurt his knee last week, and here's Montgomery. And first-round quarterbacks didn't always play all the time, right? I mean, you have first-hand experience with it with Cam Newton in Carolina.
Yeah, back in 2011, shortly before I got traded there from Chicago, you know, they drafted Cam first overall. There was a little of an uncertainty. He played 1 year at Auburn, granted Heisman Trophy winner, national champion. But the luxury we had in Carolina is we had a little bit of a longer runway, right? We had a longer leash, new staff. Ron Rivera got hired that year. He could get in there game 1. Now, he didn't struggle. He won Rookie of the Year. but again, it's not an exact science.
Here's Fields, pressure from Clowney, races around him, throws on the run, incomplete. Good win the intended receiver, but Greg Newsome, the rookie, knocked it away.
So I just hope today, you know, again, there's a long way to go in this game. Newsome is a young rookie first rounder. Watch him drive. Ball's a little late. It's a good clean play. But back to Fields. And I just hope today isn't a referendum on how his whole career would be. Again, there's a long way to go. He could end up lighting it up.
Sure.
It's a lot to be said, but regardless of how it goes, this is a young, talented, hardworking kid who has a bright future. He's tough as nails. I think he's going to be just fine.
0 for 5 on 3rd. Fields in trouble. Down he goes again. The 6th sack for Cleveland. Myles Garrett has 3.5. It's a new career high. And this Browns defensive line is dominating.
Myles Garrett has just taken over this game. You see him working there on Daniels, the right guard, and this is really just effort, KB. This is just a big, strong, physical player who's just not giving up. I think if Fields keeps his footing there, he gets his heel and clips him up, he might be able to run for the first down, but Justin Fields is learning. Sometimes running away from guys in college and running away from guys in the NFL, especially guys like Myles Garrett, just a little different.
3.5 sacks from Myles Garrett today as O'Donnell has another rocket of a punt. Felton, not much room there, and he's knocked down at the 22 by Simba Webster. Well, this Browns defense, a lot of questions in the first couple weeks. Is this a big-time defense? 10 sacks today than the Browns had combined the first 2 weeks, so it's going pretty well. I mean, this is some performance by this defensive front. And for Chicago, that's a nightmare right there. And Fields is starting debut. In his defense, he's had basically no chance. So here are the Browns up by 10 with Mayfield, giving it to Chubb. And getting a yard on that first down play. This Browns defense, Greg, you know, people question, oh, you know, the 7 new starters this year. I don't know. They were a little shaky first couple weeks. They've been the opposite today.
They have, and sometimes it takes a little time, right? You bring in some new veterans that are used to certain systems, certain schemes and play styles, trying to get them to all buy into your version of defense and how it all fits together. Joe Woods, you saw him before going into the break, pumping his fist. He's got to be fired up. This front has completely taken over the game. They've had Justin Fields off rhythm from the jump.
Here's Chubb left side as Chubb works his way to the 30. By the way, on that play, Jedrick Wills went out again, and Hance came in on the left side. There he is. Remember, he's been dealing with that ankle. But yeah, Woods, you think about it too, he spent a lot of time with Kevin Stefanski in Minnesota. They've known each other for a long time. And you see as the Browns go quick, he's got some pretty great mentors. I mean, Mike Tomlin, Jim Johnson, late great defensive coordinator, Wade Phillips. He's learned from the best. Mayfield on third down. He is pressured and goes down. And the Bears have another sack. Robert Quinn comes home again, and he's got 2 sacks today.
Robert Quinn, I'll tell you, he's trying to match what he sees by Myles Garrett on the other side. But we saw this earlier. We pointed out that the Browns did it. Again, you see a lot of this in the NFL. 3 over 3. They try to get a chip on Robert Woods. Quinn, what a great job. He's giving them fits up front.
Bears defense is keeping them in this game. And they've got 5 sacks now as a front. Another punt. Gillen. Webster, returnable. Near side, and then gets absolutely hammered out of the 30 by Harrison Bryant. Browns by 10. Bears try to get back in it when we come back. Back of the future, and look, just because there's a lot of Browns fans, still Ohio State fans here, right? So I mean, you gotta, sure, there's a little portion of the fans saying rooting for Justin Fields.
He told us he didn't realize till midweek. I don't know about that. I feel like he might have known. I think he might have realized a little sooner than that he'd be back here in some familiar territory.
He was 20-2 as a starter at Ohio State. This has been a much different experience. The Bears have 33 total yards, but they're only down 10. Looking to throw, pressure from Garrett again, and he gets it away, and it's incomplete.
Had the opportunity this week, KB, to talk on the phone for a little bit with Ryan Day. You mentioned the success they had at Ohio State 2 years running. He just raved about it. He said, listen, I think sometimes he's maybe a little misinterpreted. He's quiet. He's a little reserved. He said, his words were, he has a competitive fire that burns so hot inside him. He wants to win. He wants to compete at the highest level. He raved about him and what he brought to that Ohio State franchise, and that's what they're hoping he brings here to this Bears franchise.
Second down. Fields over the middle. Incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Little RPO there, a little glimpse of what he did so well in college. Sometimes, though, if it's not really the fabric of your offense, it's not really a fit. It kind of becomes forced.
The Bears have 2 first downs this entire game. This will be a 3rd and 10. Blitz coming. Fields sees it, unloads it. First down, Robinson breaks the tackle. Allen Robinson, a big one. Boy, do they need that.
I'm not sure if there's ever been a bigger 12-yard, 13-yard completion on a comeback route than that one right there. Just the easy pitch and catch. Listen, at this point, the Bears will take it. I love the hurry up. Get something going here.
They go quick, three-man rush. This time has time. Throws it to Montgomery out of the backfield. Makes the catch. And then he's tackled immediately by Wusu Koromoa. And was it complete? No. Tell you what, Greg, Wusu Koromoa has flashed in this game for Cleveland.
He has. He's made some impactful plays. He's listed as a linebacker, but he really brings them kind of like a dime-type role, which typically you see from some safeties, but they feel like he's a versatile, athletic guy, a little undersized at linebacker, but he, as you said, he's made a huge impact on this game.
He only started 2 years at Notre Dame, but was a Butkus Award winner, best linebacker in the country. Getting a lot of time today with Taki out as Fields on the zone read and sliding down for no gain.
So he actually has the ability to throw this ball. Marquise Goodwin is purposely not going to block the corner. I think he's got a chance. Watch Goodwin. He's not going to block the corner. Watch him release. So as Fields comes here, as that corner, you see how he can throw it? That's by design. That's all part of this RPO, multiple zone read stuff. Don't be surprised if they see that and they come back to it later in the game, dump it over his head.
It is roaring in Cleveland, loud. Third down, Fields. Pressure, flips it underneath Kmet, and he's tackled before the first down marker. There's also a penalty in the backfield. Troy Hill on the tackle, but you know, I think it's going to be on Chicago anyway.
See Jason Peters right here at left tackle.
Holding. Offense, number 71. 10-yard penalty. It's third down.
So he's on the back side of the screen. He just needs to stay inside out. I don't know, not sure why he's setting so wide. One thing Jason Peters did say this week, which I thought was really, really good. First of all, the way they've talked about him and what he's brought to this team. But he said, listen, I've got to do a better job on my pass sets, knowing I have a different type of quarterback behind me. He said he worked all week on being a little bit more vertical, getting off the ball a little bit more. We saw him there, kind of opened him up for a penalty.
This is 3rd and 19. Fields running away. He had a pocket, looking to throw it. Can't find anything. Now loads it up and throws it deep for Robinson, and it is intercepted. John Johnson intercepted it. There's a penalty flag, 2 in the secondary, so hang on.
I think they're going to call John Johnson for pass interference. What a turn of events that would be. He had Mooney, KB, early. The fans are not going to be happy here if they call this defensive pass interference.
Well, I mean, look, his hands were there, but the question is, did he...
Pass interference. Defense number 43. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
What a huge call.
You're going to see Mooney breaks when Justin Fields gets out of the box. Watch Mooney now down the middle of the field. He's going to run down the middle of the field. Watch. Stay with him. Just stay with him. Stay with him. He's got him. He's got him. He just didn't quite get his footwork into it. He's got a chance.
Well, you're right, but they get the penalty. It's a 48-yard penalty, and they're only down by 10. They're going to go Wildcat. Montgomery, the former high school quarterback, inside the 10. So after all that, after missing Mooney, instead of the interception, it's a 48-yard penalty. They've got a chance to cut it to 3.
And I know the fans here weren't happy, but in live act, the defender puts his hands on a guy's back, speaking from an offensive player. It altered Allen Robinson's ability to go track that ball enough that the official's going to throw the flag, and I know it's a backbreaker, right? That's a huge turn of events, give them the ball inside the 10, but puts his hands on his back. The official felt like it prevented him. Going hurry up here.
They're going hurry up on the fake. Fields pressure in his face, slips down, and he's sacked again. It was Harrison coming from the safety spot, number 7 for Cleveland.
Trying to get him. They get out of the huddle. They break. He just doesn't bite here on the action. See Peters block down. Just kind of comes off the edge. When you run any of those nakeds or any of those boots, you can account for 1 free player off the edge as the linemen block away. In that case, they had 2 free players, and Harrison's able to get in the backfield, cause Justin Fields to lose his footing.
They could get a first down at the 2, 3rd and long. Fields gets it out in the flat. Montgomery makes a man miss, and another Montgomery inside the 5. What an effort! And it brings up a 4th and 1.5, and now you have a real decision.
I think I go for it. You haven't been inside. They're going to kick it. You haven't been inside this part of the field really at all.
Not even close.
Game.
It's the first time in the red zone.
You get the benefit of the, potential defensive pass interference or what. I think you got to take advantage of being inside the 5. I understand it's a 2-score game. I don't know.
I'm with you. They're going to settle for the field goal to make it a 1-score game. That's the mindset here. 22-yarder from Santos. And it's up and it's good. So all that being said, it's a 1-score game. As the Bears get the 48-yard pass interference penalty on John Johnson right here. Instead of the interception, it leads to a field goal. And the Browns, well, you get the big penalty and it gets you on the board. All right, I mean, they take the field goal. John Johnson with the defensive interference. They have more penalty yards than they do yards in the game, but it's a 1-score game. Amazingly, it's a 1-score game. And so that's where we are with 1:43 to go in the 3rd from Cleveland. Every Wednesday, the Masked Singer brings you the biggest superstars. New season is here. Watch. 13-6 Browns. 1:43 to go in the 3rd. Wills is back in the game at left tackle. He's bounced out a couple times with that ankle, but back in there now after Hance came in and allowed the sack last play of their last possession. Mayfield to throw it over the middle, wide open. He's got his man and a first down. Odell Beckham Jr. has the catch. So 7-point game. It feels like the Browns are up by 1 million in some ways about it. Bears have 5 sacks of their own. 1st and 10. Mayfield on the fake. Looking deep, throwing deep for Beckham. Incomplete. Beckham 4 catches, 62 yards today. Also had a run earlier in the game. Picked up 10 yards on that. So he's been involved.
He has. This is just well defended. It's a soft zone. Jalen Johnson, we saw him earlier get beat on the man. Just getting depth, keeping everything in front of him. Baker can't quite get it up and down. Really well defended there by the Bears.
Four-man rush, set up a screen and a lot of room for Hunt. Bounces away, now up the middle, first down and more. Kareem Hunt inside the 40. They set it up beautifully and he picked up 24 yards.
We've seen it a few times today, Kevin. Their screen game is really good. And when you get these pass rushers, Robert Quinn, Khalil Mack up the field, it really opens them up and makes them susceptible. Kareem Hunt has great timing, great patience getting into the screen, letting the play develop, and he is not easy to tackle in the open field. See Wyatt Teller out in front. J.C. Treader, this offensive line does a great job in space.
He's their leading receiver today, Greg. 6 catches, 74 yards. Here he's going to get the carry. Why not? Getting around the edge, leaping over people down to the 30 and into field goal range for Cleveland. That'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Get that man a little water break. He's earned it. Browns by a touchdown as we head to the 4th. Well, Myles Garrett has danced a lot. He's got 3.5 sacks. Browns have 7. Bears have 5. But it's Cleveland with a 7-point lead and driving as we start this fourth quarter. Now this 13-6 lead. Justin Fields is starting to debut for the Bears. Just 5 of 12, 57 yards. Obviously no touchdowns by that score, but now the Browns trying to take back control on 1st and 10. Start the fourth. Mayfield, pressure launching for Beckham, and is he inbounds? No, out of bounds. Jalen Johnson on the coverage.
Just kind of ran out of room. See how close he is. Yeah, he's clearly out. Great catch. It's a great catch. I mean, I don't care if he was inbounds or not. It's a great catch. Good coverage. Jalen Johnson gets a little jam. Again, this cover 2 kind of zone match type zone coverage that they've been running. Nice job by him there.
3rd down, Hunt breaks a tackle and he's got a 1st down. Huge, still on his feet. Kareem Hunt racing towards the end zone and he's in.
These running backs are fun to watch. Look at Deon Bush. He gets in the backfield. He's unblocked. 4-yard loss to a 35-yard touchdown. What a run. Kareem Hunt. I mean, what more can you say? Him and Chubb. We've talked about them all game. These guys are special. The fact that they have them both, it's incredible.
Good luck. Extra point is up and good. Well, Kevin Stefanski told Pam Oliver at the break, I want to run the ball more. Coach, you got 143 yards rushing. You're doing just fine. Hunt from 29 yards out, and it's 20-6, Cleveland Browns. Having an unbelievable game. He's got 134 yards from scrimmage. He was huge on that 2-minute drive before the half, and he just raced in from 29 yards out, which was all him to break a tackle and go on in and score. And the Browns just wearing people down. 20-6, they've now got the lead. And they'll kick it in the end zone where it's going to be taken out by Herbert, trying to make something happen here. And he gets out across the 25. This is just Kareem Hunt being fantastic, right, Greg?
Yeah, but they got a good scheme here. Remember now, Deon Bush, he's in for Deshaun Gibson. He's the run-through player. They don't have him blocked, but sometimes you have a good call, and the other guy's just better. I mean, Kareem Hunt just makes a miss. It goes from a 4-yard tackle for loss. They've got him. He's just got to make that play, but you can't say enough about Kareem Hunt, Chubb, this offensive line, the scheme. It's just a really hard team to go up against.
And now a lot of work to do for Justin Fields in this offense, who goes to the far sideline, incomplete. Allen Robinson covered well by Denzel Ward. Tomorrow on Fox, Blackout continues on a thrilling 911. TV's high-octane drama is back, wilder than ever. 57 yards. He's been sacked 7 times. And he's just 2 of his last 11. Back to pass, Montgomery, incomplete. We get a flag, however, from the secondary. So, Greg, here's the thing. The Bears have shown absolutely zero ability to make you believe they can even run a play.
Defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
Yeah, Ward just kind of tackles him.
Yep.
He loses his footing a little bit, but he kind of finished him off.
I was going to say, so at this point, you barely feel like the Bears can run a play without getting sacked, right? So what do? There's still a lot of time left in this game, down 2 scores, but they haven't done or showed you that they can do anything. 1st down. Fields now will throw incomplete. Mooney, the intended target.
I think there's a lot going on, right? I don't think guys are running wide open. I don't think he's missing, has he maybe missed a guy here or there, but it doesn't seem like he's missing a lot of, guys with space. Of course, the protections you mentioned, it's 7 sacks. any young quarterback, any quarterback for that sake. It's just a tough combination. There's tight coverage in the back end. The rush is in my face. The crowd's going crazy. So it's not an easy environment for him to operate in.
Fields going to keep this one and race to the edge and get out of bounds after it picks up about 5 yards. I haven't really done that much today.
No, it looked like when he pulled it, he was trying to throw the ball back to Cole Kmet in the flat. Credit to the Browns. They did a nice job defending that last zone read.
The Bears, 1 of 8 on 3rd down. Obviously, that's not very good for Chicago, but Cleveland, that was their bugaboo coming in. They were the worst in the NFL on 3rd down. That's turned around. 3rd and 6. Fields incomplete. Terrific coverage by Ronnie Harrison all over it. And it looks like it's punt time.
You can tell his clock is starting to speed up. But again, he's trying to get the ball out fast, but you got to win. You see Cole Kmet here going against Ronnie Harrison. He's just sitting at the sticks, and he's just driving. But look if he doesn't get the ball out of his hand. He has no choice, right? His clock is so fast right now. And I got to be honest, I don't blame him.
Yeah. I mean, 7 sacks will do that to you. He's been harassed on numerous occasions. It's hard in some cases to make a real evaluation today. This Browns D has been tremendous. Here's another good punt. No, one thing for sure, O'Donnell's had a good day. Felton on the return, zigging and zagging his way up to the 30. 20-6 Cleveland, and now this from Geico.
Yes, so what I'm saying is people like options.
On offense, haven't had many answers, if any, for this Browns defense today. 20-6, 13:40 to play, and now Cleveland with the football. And a chance to really put the hammer down here.
Hey, me. Hey, we're going to go 4-4.
Mayfield rolling out and sings one. Odell Beckham Jr. has got a first down out to the 44. We've got a game break. Check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, Justin Fields,
who was all world at Clemson. He got 7 picks in 3 games. It just shows you it takes time.
Hey, sour cream.
Keep you updated on that. 3 tight ends in for Cleveland. Here is Chubb right up the gut. Nick Chubb with another big run, and now the Browns starting to wear you down.
This is the exact same play design we just saw Kareem Hunt score on. They're blocking down. You said 3 tight ends, pull the backside guard, and it's just a downhill gap scheme. I mean, they're just so good.
Well, Bill Callahan, long regarded as one of the best line coaches in the history of this league, really. And we talked to Kevin Stefanski. He said it was a huge hire. Andrew Berry, the GM, fixed the O-line. He went out and signed free agents, and then he hired him. He said, that's why the O-line's better. It's not because of me. And this is a good O-line. And now just looking to impose their will with Chubb as they're up around 160 yards rushing.
The second we asked Stefanski, we said, talk about your offensive line, the Pro Bowlers, the young left tackle and Wills. He said, before I talk about any of those guys, I got to give Bill Callahan the credit he deserves. So you can see why Stefanski believes he was his most important hire. You can see the impact this offensive line has had not only on this game, but really in their turnaround to being a contender. I mean, they're not only a playoff contender, they got a chance here at the AFC. I think they're that good.
Dribble. Hey, come here, Harrison. Come on. Hey, white.
Chubb again. Big Chubb just turning those legs, and he's going to be 2 yards short of a first down. Well, it's interesting, too, because on this offensive line, COVID affected everybody. It just changed how you got ready for the year last year. And Stefanski said, there are certain things we didn't know. They got to, a few weeks in, oh, wait a second. These guys can pull and do all this other cool stuff we didn't really know they could do.
Yeah, he said, I came from Minnesota, and everyone just says, oh, we're an outside zone team. Very traditional outside zone. You see it with Shanahan out at the 49ers. Seattle runs a lot of it. He goes, next thing you know, we're getting through the season. I'm saying I got 2 guards who can pull. I got a center who's athletic and smart. I can do more than just go zone right and zone left. And we've seen it today.
3rd and 2. Mayfield to throw. Got a man open. It's Bryant, and he missed him. He had him, his tight end. Just overthrown, and now a 4th and 2. So I know they're up 2 touchdowns here. They are in field goal range. You going for it? Looks like they are.
I think they're going for it. That last play, he has Bryant wide open. They set it up. We saw those we talked about those 3 tight end packages off the run. They sneak Bryant from the backside. Watch, they show the action. Watch Bryant. He's wide open. Just missed him. But all that is set up because of their ability to run the ball. Just trying to get him to jump off sides. Yeah.
Tried to get him to jump, didn't work. Timeout called. And now they'll bring on the field goal team. Let's go down to Pam.
When we spoke to Matt Nagy, he acknowledged that the excitement over Justin Fields starting, what that would create, but he was also cautious trying to manage expectations for the rookie. Remember, he told us the view from 30,000 feet up from people on the outside, put the rookie in, everything would be fine. He said it's just not that easy. It's too much to manage. It's been a bad day for Chicago down here on the sidelines. I got to tell you, these guys look like they've been hit by a truck. Back to you.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting, Pam, because, he also had a line this week that said, hey, Justin doesn't have to be the franchise quarterback in one day. I get that, for sure. But you also don't want his debut to be a complete disaster. And today has been a disaster. I'm not saying he's been a disaster, but their offense has been a disaster.
Yeah, I think it's been a combination of a lot of things. And, unfortunately, right, wrong, or indifferent, the quarterback in any city, let alone Chicago, he's going to come under fire, and he's going to take the credit, and he's going to take the blame. It's just the way the league is set up.
There's McLaughlin, 52 yards out, and he's had a nice day. Perfect. He got a 57-yarder, 29-yarder, 52-yarder. Cleveland is rocking here in the 4th, 23-6.
Thursday Night Football, Thursday at 8, only on NFL Network.
So here's Baker Mayfield. My bad. He wanted that pass to Harrison Bryant back, right?
He did. He knows it. We all saw it. We talked about it before, but saying, sorry, dude. I got to put that on you.
A lot of talk here in Cleveland. Mayfield, all the young quarterbacks get to a point. It's like he doesn't have the big deal, right? So the reason why that's an issue is because, you're committing to him as the long-term franchise guy. And we've talked so much about Justin Fields today, rightfully so. His starting debut. But Baker Mayfield, curious your take on him. And coming up next, we got a doozy. America's Game of the Week. It's the Bucs and the Rams. I mean, that legit NFC Championship preview. I know it's week 3, but you get the idea. Also, some of you see Seahawks and Vikings. It's on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Still questioning whether Baker Mayfield is the guy, because he looks like he's in complete control to me as here's Montgomery gets wrapped up.
Yeah, I just think they have the perfect marriage right now with play caller, scheme, design, and what Baker Mayfield's skill sets are. And I think this offense just goes so good with each other. The run game complements the pass.
Yeah.
Everything. I do. I really enjoyed talking to him yesterday. I don't really know him that well. I haven't really met him personally, but in just our conversations preparing for the game, I liked his demeanor. I kind of liked his presentation of how he kind of gave us his thoughts, gave us his preparation, his process. I came away really impressed by him. And so far, he's playing as well, if not better, than he ever has.
See his numbers today. Got off to a slow start, 1 of 5. Big drive before the half, 23-6 lead, 3rd and 9 for the Bears and Justin Fields.
A lot of guys standing up in the line. Do they drop? Do they come?
They're coming. Fields is in trouble. Racing away, and he's sacked again. Myles Garrett. A career day. Living in the backfield. 4.5 sacks.
There's nothing he can do. For some reason, Jason Peters doesn't look like he thinks he has Myles Garrett. If you delay on a guy like him with his speed and how fast he gets off the edge, you're done. Watch. It almost seemed like He thought he was going to sit down and close off that stunt. Myles Garrett, what a career day he's having. There's nothing Justin Fields can do about that.
8 sacks, 8 for the Browns as Felton now gets through the initial coverage surge and up around midfield as the Browns dominating this one in Cleveland, looking for more. Up big, 23-6. Pass rush after this week. I mean, they got 8 sacks, and Myles Garrett has 4.5 of them. A career best for him, a new team record for Cleveland. And there's a Myles Garrett chant in the stands. There you go. He hears it. My goodness, what a force. Kareem Hunt. So 4.5 sacks, Greg, that's a lot. What happened on the last one?
You can see, we said it, there's a lot. See these guys standing up in the A-gaps? Jason Peters thinks that he has to come down on the left side, but now he bails, and that's what gives Myles Garrett. So it's a combination of a really talented edge rusher in Myles Garrett, but also the pre-snap alignment challenges Jason Peters' protection rules. If that Mike linebacker in the A-gap blitzes, he's right to come down. The second he bails, he's late to Myles Garrett. Very good play design, very good pressure design, and it helps when you have 95 coming off the edge.
Yeah, and you got 80,000 people chanting Myles Garrett, and others are saying, wait, the offense is on the field. Quiet it down as Hunt breaks through. Kareem Hunt, what a day, inside the 30. 19 yards for Hunt on the run.
How many times does it seem like they have him? They've got him, and they just can't get him to the ground. His contact balance, it's something you hear a lot about Alvin Kamara, some of these other backs, Christian McCaffrey. It's not so much that they run through guys all the time. It's that they can absorb contact, keep their balance, keep their footing, and continue down on the run. You can't coach it, you can't teach it. Some guys are just super talented.
Going to stay with it. Why not? Gets a pull block from Bitonio. Tries to get to the edge, and that time the Bears played it well with Mack in hot pursuit. It'll bring up second down. So Hunt's numbers today: 82 yards rushing and a touchdown, 74 yards receiving on 6 catches. And now timeout on the field.
Hey, do you want to do the Greg Olsen screenplay stuff?
I think what happened is one of the guys on the chain gang got hit, and like you see, the gentleman is up now. Myles Garrett's checking on him, maybe giving him some water. That's good to see.
I think Myles Garrett asked him, "You want me to hold the chain?"
I mean, at this point, he might as well.
He's done everything else.
Got him a little ice.
Oh, he's giving him. You see what he told him? He's telling him next time you got to lower your shoulder, deliver a blow.
Wow, and look at he's got a bloody cheek, and he's staying in there. He's still going to hold the down marker.
This guy's a warrior. Let's see him.
Who got him? Oh, Ogletree got him.
Oh, the plastic piece.
That's
how to lower his body and to absorb the blow a little bit better.
But he's still in there.
He's a warrior.
Bleeding from the face and all. Here is Chubb. I mean, if you've never been on the sideline for an NFL game, and most of you have not, it's unbelievable how fast they are and they can come at you. Myles Garrett today, quite frankly, has been a joke.
I mean, it seems like he's beat a different guy. You see him, he's lined up on the left in the tackle spot. You see him on both sides of the edge at end. Here you see him redirected on the boot. Justin Fields can't quite avoid him. I mean, I don't think people realize. I mean, that seems just like a pressure. His ability to change direction, match an athlete like Justin Fields. That time he just runs 4.5 around the edge.
Well, he was an All-Pro last year. He had 12.5 sacks, and he missed 2 games, 6 in the NFL. 4.5 in this game alone as Chubb On 3rd and 2, going to be a little bit short. And it'll bring up 4th down as time now getting down to 6:04 left, and a timeout is called by Chicago. That's their first. So you look at the overall yardage for this game, which doesn't always tell the story, right? I mean, Cleveland is now approaching 400 yards. The Bears have 50. But for a time, Greg, considering their offense did nothing, the Bears D kind of kept them in this game. Curious how you would evaluate their performance today.
Yeah, I think it's a tough evaluation. I think the one thing you touched on that's so important, the amount of pressure a defense feels when it's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. They feel that pressure, right? The margin for error gets so small. Now they start pressing. They start saying, I've got to make the big play. I've got it. And all of a sudden you see the fabric of the defense starts to kind of break down. I don't think by any measure they played poorly today. I don't think they were great, but I also don't think they struggled. I think this was really a product of they're playing a very good offense, and they've got nothing from their own offense.
Yeah, fair point. 4th and 1. Brown's going to go. The little flip. Chubb's got it. First down inside the 15.
When you feel confident in your offense, you can take chances like this. I like a lot of coaches would kick the field goal. Look, he stretches it, he stretches it. They tell running backs all the time, press it, stick your foot in the ground, get vertical. That's what he does. He cuts the defense. And once he gets his shoulders downhill, square to the line of scrimmage. These guys are so good.
Here is Hunt, who gets swallowed up that time. Margus Hunt. Hunt on Hunt.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot he's going to be able to do there when an interior defensive lineman is left unblocked. That's they're good. I don't know if they're that good.
Yeah, Margus Hunt's also 6'8", so it looks like he's just swallowing offensive players sometimes. Yeah. Got the call up to the roster today with Eddie Goldman not playing once again, as the Browns just in full waste to clock mode, up 23-6. Jarvis Landry here. Unfortunate for him, he's only missed one game in his career until now, and that was because of COVID contract tracing last year. So this is a new experience for him, but certainly a good start without him, and hopefully knee sprain doesn't keep him out longer than 3 weeks. The required amount of time on the injured list, we'll see.
You know, you asked before, KB, what can the defense of Chicago take from this game? And I think if I'm Sean Desai, of course, you're never thrilled, 400 yards,
right?
Give up. But I think, one thing they came into the season talking about, we talked about Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack, can they get after the passer? They've done a good job getting after Baker Mayfield. Now this second half has kind of turned into a run fest. But, for the most part, they've gotten the pressure on the quarterback that they're going to need for the rest of the season. It's just today against this team being able to run the ball so successfully, didn't quite have as many reps at it.
3rd and long. Here is Chubb. Stretching to the edge and to the 10. But bring up 4th down. We got another game break. What's going on, Kurt Menefee?
Well, what's going on is...
Wow, that's going to be some game. There's some concern down on the field. One of the chain gang on the other side got hurt here. I think it was by Chubb. What happened? Oh, no, it was at the end. Oh, goodness.
I think Eddie Jackson threw David Njoku kind of out of bounds late. They were kind of wrestling on the block, and I think he just kind of turned and whipped him. I gotta hope he's all right.
Well, he's staying down as they're tending to the gentleman. Certainly hope he's all right. I mean, gosh, it's like you say, look, you can attest to it. Doesn't matter if you're paying attention. It comes at you so fast down there. I just hope he's okay. Now they're going to bring out the stretcher for him. Oh, man. So that's why the stoppage in play right now. He is moving his arms.
You know, you always got to be concerned when they come down to the ground after the initial contact. You know, do they hit their head going backwards? You know, you said it earlier. These guys are so big and they're moving so fast. You get caught the wrong way and you go back. You just got to hope he didn't hit his head.
Yeah, hopefully the stretcher is just precautionary, but we send our well wishes down there.
He's sitting up now, so that's great.
Mm-hmm. Fans realize it. Give him a little applause, and now he is sitting up behind there. Trust us, and hopefully that's a good thing. Where we are in the game, as far as that's concerned, it's a 4th down play, so it looks like McLaughlin is on to try and kick a field goal, and now he's up to his feet. So that is really good news. Hey, these guys are tough down there. Man, oh man. So we saw one person holding up the down mark on the other side, bleeding from his face while holding it out. And now this guy gets taken out by 2 NFL players, tumbles backward, and now is standing up. And I wonder if he's arguing to stay in the game. And there's the other side of things. He's like, yeah, no big deal, just a gash. And now, is he going to stay in the game? No, they're going to give off to someone else, and they're going to, good news is, walk him out.
Yeah. Anytime they wheel the stretcher, and when they wheeled that from the other end zone, and he was laying on his back, you said, oh boy. But great sign, walking off under his own control. Crowd's giving him a hand.
All right, so it'll be a field goal try for McLaughlin here. 28 yards for him. Three field goals today, 3 for 3, and make it 4. Perfect on the day, and the Browns extend their lead. It's a rough day for the Bears, but the Browns more than in control, up by 20 catches for 74 yards. He's also got 84 yards of rushing, or excuse me, 81 yards rushing and a touchdown, so he's done it all. And the Browns in control as they will kick it away, and the Bears will have it. Good. So, take you back to this week. You know, obviously all Bears fans are dying to see Justin Fields. When you spend the 11th overall pick on him, you want to see the young kid play. He wasn't going to play this week until Andy Dalton got hurt, right? So it's kind of an interesting thing in Chicago with, you know, people wanting to see the young guy, but then the coaching staff and the administration, who's now on their 2nd young quarterback, trying to win to essentially keep their jobs.
Yeah, and I think that's the key difference in the situation here in Chicago that people need to keep in mind. You know, often when these guys draft the young quarterbacks.
As they're going to get it to Montgomery. Good move, David Montgomery, and he's going to have a 1st down.
It typically happens earlier in that kind of coaching staff's era, right? And they have a little bit, we said earlier, when we drafted Cam in 2011, they knew going in that if he didn't set the world on fire in week 1 or year 1, those coaching staff was going to be there. They had a little ability to build. Does Matt Nagy have that, you know, does he have that ability to learn with a young quarterback? And that's the question that I think's at play. And I think when you factor in he has Andy Dalton, who's a very good veteran that he feels like he can win with now, how much does that impact whether you throw young Justin Fields out to the Wolves there on week 1 and deal with the inevitable struggles of a young quarterback? There's a lot of factors that go in. It's not just Justin Fields, he's our future. Is he your future, right? He might be the future of the Bears. Is he the future of this staff? That's a factor in why they didn't start him week 1, why he's entered now only due to injury.
Oh, that is a great call. I mean, certainly the circumstances. Fields gets away from another sack and throws it away. And to think about this Bears franchise, I mean, it feels like they've been looking for a franchise guy forever. I mean, look at, you know, it's amazing. You don't realize Jim McMahon, just because of the Super Bowl, only 61 starts. Jay Cutler, who you, of course, played with, has the most starts of a Bears quarterback since 1960.
Yeah, it's a position that they've been trying to get right. You know, in my 4 years playing in Chicago, I had 4 quarterbacks. You know, they were all good in their moments, and we all, you know, we had a lot of good. You know, we showed the pass from Cutler in the playoffs back in 2010, ended up being my last year there. But, you know, they've been kind of searching for who is that guy. They thought it was going to be Trubisky. They're hoping now that it's Justin Fields.
The throws on the run here. Robinson, unbelievable. Oh, incomplete. He was out of bounds anyway. Great effort. And it's going to be another punting situation unless they decide to go on 4th and 10.
I think you also have to make sure you recognize, and I think the fan base, I think they're going to be fair, right? I think by no means is today indicative of the future that Justin Fields. He's a talented young kid. He kind of got thrown into a tough situation here. At some point, though, the organization needs to surround him with complementary players that work for his skill set, right? You've seen him do it with Lamar Jackson, has a very unique skill set in Baltimore. They've based their offense around him. Over the next year or so, we'd like to see them be able to kind of do that around here in Chicago.
4th and 10. 5-man rush. Fields. Garrett almost got him again. And now Clowney will. The Browns have 9 sacks. It's the most in a game since 2015.
Myles Garrett, after last week's game, said he doesn't think he's ever been chipped so much. I don't think Chicago has chipped him one time today. He's just running around the edge. Obvious passing situation is hard on any offensive lineman. And you got Clowney, Myles Garrett, saw Takk McKinley earlier. That's not a recipe for success.
I would say going forward, maybe teams would want to chip.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care who you have at tackle. Jason Peters is potentially a Hall of Fame player. This is not a knock on him and his career.
Yeah. Dearness Johnson in the game now. So is Case Keenum, the backup cornerback, with the Browns having this in hand with under 3 minutes to play. So let me ask you this. How do you even evaluate Justin Fields today? Like, seriously, I mean, his numbers are 6 of 20, 67 yards, but there's been so much that has gone into that. I mean, how do you look at his start today?
I don't think you can objectively come to any sort of conclusion. I think listen, when they go back and watch this film, are there throws he could have made? Are there plays that maybe he missed? Did he lock in on a receiver one too many times? I'm sure any young quarterbacks are going to have those moments. They need to really have a come to Jesus moment here and say, how do we solidify our pass protection first? How do we establish some sort of run game to take the pressure off? And then how do we base this scheme around his skill set? On the move, RPO stuff, read option, get him out on the perimeter.
Tough day for Justin Fields and the Bears. It's all Myles Garrett today. 4.5 sacks. The Browns have 9, and their defense crushing the Bears. 26-6, 2 minutes to go. Well, State Farm Game Break show coming your way next. Get you caught up on the early games and then taking you up to the America's Game of the Week. Going to be awesome. Rams and Buccaneers in Los Angeles. 2 2-0 teams. The Bears have 1 passing yard. It's the fewest in a game by Chicago since 1981. I mean, that's unbelievable. Sacked 9 times. Has 2 minutes to go. Browns looking to run it out. And Case Keenum just going to surge forward, pick up the first down, and now they can take a knee. Unless Chicago calls timeouts. Sacks. That's what this game's been about, Greg. Cleveland has 9 of them. Myles Garrett has 4.5.
First down.
I mean, that's a lot of sacks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost speechless. I don't even know really what to say anymore. I think we've kind of touched on it through the entire broadcast. It's a game-changing front. It's a front that might have come under a little pressure. They've taken a little longer than expected. All these new pieces to come together this year. Well, they answered the bell, and unfortunately, it came at the hands of the Bears and Justin Fields' young debut. But I just hope people don't lose sight on just what a good player Justin Fields has the potential to be. I just really hope people give him the benefit of the doubt. You don't want to see one debut game kind of create the narrative that he's not the future. I think it's way too early to tell. I don't think today was a fair assessment. And I hope he's able to find his way in the event he still does play going forward for the injured Andy Dalton. I hope he can find some success.
Well, the Bears have a lot of work to do. The Browns are going to improve to 2-1 and feel good about this one. And certainly they know that week 1 against Kansas City, game they let slip away, could have won that one as well. But a resounding win for Cleveland. Going to go on and take it 26-6. The final over the Bears. Myles Garrett, just an absolute rock star here this afternoon with a career high and a franchise record 4.5 sacks. And that will do it. Browns by 20 and disappointing debut for Justin Fields and the Bears. For Pam Oliver, Greg Olsen, our entire NFL on Fox crew, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Thanks for watching. Back to LA with Kurt Menefee. Take it away.